Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my third Q&A this week. Going to be lots this week, leading up to the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 8, start to finish. Okay, so all kinds of questions coming from you guys. Spoiler warning, as always, if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead. So thank you guys for all the questions. Keep sending me what you got. Keep sending me your video requests for this week. And we'll have lots of videos coming up this weekend, of course, with the big review for the mid-season finale. Should be an awesome episode. And the week after, too, we'll do some videos talking about the second half of Season 6 and everything of the sort. So without further ado, let's get into some of your guys' questions. And sorry about yesterday. Didn't have a video for you guys yesterday. Don't have that many video topics for this week. Have more questions. So there's going to be more Q&As this week. First one's from BSB2. And he says, Trev, would you be interested in doing a character spotlight for Nicholas, or at the very least give your thoughts on Q&A? For whatever reason, I really enjoyed his character. Keep up the amazing work. So that's from BSB_so2. So I never really did one. Now, this is a tricky one because I don't want to spoil things. If I do character spotlights for people, sometimes people think I'm spoiling it, but I do character spotlights for characters that are alive, such as, Carol and that, which I did one fairly recently. Kind of when we were talking about the Robert Kirkman statement that said she's like the safest character in the show. So with Nicholas, what do I think about Nicholas? Final thoughts. I guess I can use that for this Q&A as kind of the main thing. Good question. I mean, okay, so I never really liked Nicholas very much myself. I guess BSBU enjoyed him as a character. I thought he was interesting the way he developed that kind of relationship with Glenn, and how they tried to kill each other in the finale, and then how they kind of came back. But his stupidity ended up almost getting Glenn killed at the same time. So it's kind of like, it's interesting because it's like if Glenn would have killed him earlier on, he may not have gotten into that situation, and Nicholas may not have almost killed him with the whole thank you death of Nicholas and everything like that. That was his fault because he led Glenn down the wrong direction, and they got closed off. They got dead-ended, right? So that was really his fault. That was Nicholas's fault, and it just kind of plays back into his personality as a character, which is that he's pretty stupid, he's clumsy, he got Noah killed when he ran out the door, the glass doors, when they the turning doors, because he freaked out, and I guess he was a good kind of intergroup type of minor villain for Glenn, that changed later on, but because of his stupidity almost got Glenn killed. So I don't have too many good things to say about Nicholas. I wouldn't really say like I liked him as a character. I mean, you need characters like that, and I think that he was interesting for the story, and he was interesting for Glenn, and that's really all I have to say about him. I don't think anybody in the show really likes him either. I don't think he has really any friends. I mean, his friends that he went on runs with are dead, right, of course. But, yeah, that's all I really have to say about him. So I never really did a character spotlight on him, and I'm not really going to, just because he's not that important of a character, and I never really liked him that much. That's me. So I don't know about you guys, but in the end, I guess you can feel bad for him, but it's really his own stupidity anyway, because he didn't know where he was going, and he acted like he did. So so it's his own fault anyway. And he almost got Glenn killed. So damn him. Next question is from Lucio Franza, and he or she says, hey Trev, can't wait for the mid-season finale. Yeah, me too. Going back to the topic at the beginning of the season where The Walking Dead has dropped in viewership. That's something we actually haven't talked about for a while. Thank you for bringing that up, Lucio. And then he or she says, if you look at last year's episode 7, it had 13.33 million viewers, and this year had 13.22. Just wanted your thoughts on this. Thanks. Okay, so to update it, basically, I did a few videos earlier on as the topic for the Q&A. Really, they were like Q&As with that leading it off. And nothing has really changed with that. And I was kind of surprised. The whole Glenn situation, even though there was so much buzz online for it, and episode 3 was huge, it seemed like they had the episode 3 that was big. The ratings went up next week with the Morgan episode. Then they died down again after that with Now. And they haven't really gone that high again. So as we were talking about earlier on this year, it seems like maybe season 5 is the peak season for The Walking Dead. Now, some people have brought up the point that more people are watching it on DVR, like TiVo and stuff like that. More people are watching it online maybe nowadays than they used to, this kind of deal. So maybe that's a bit of a shift. But in 1 year, I wouldn't think that many people would have switched to DVR or TiVo. So that's tough to say. I still would say that season 5, from what I've seen, is the biggest season in terms of general viewership, it looks like, from the ratings and everything. But that season 6 has had a lot of discussion online. Like, I did not see this much discussion online for season 5 at any point as when we had the Glenn situation. That was a huge discussion topic, people in forums and comments and just arguing and stating their point and everything. So that was great in terms of like online discussion, and that was really social media, and that was big in terms of what happened after that episode. So it was really good for the show that they did that. But it's very weird that season 6 hasn't performed as well as season 5 did. I can't quite wrap my head around it. I can't quite understand why. So you guys can put your theories in the comments below on why you think that is. Why you think it's a bit down from last year. From the channel, from what I've seen and interacting with you guys, it certainly doesn't seem like it's down, in discussion and social media. But based on viewership and the numbers, it looks like it is. So that's weird to me. So I can't quite think of a reason for that. Write your comments below if you guys can think of it, because I would say at this point the first half of season 6 is better than the first half of season 5 for sure. But maybe things do get hot for a while. They can become kind of trendy, then they can fade out after that. But at this rate, as long as it doesn't fade out too much, The Walking Dead should go on further without any kind of trouble, because that's still a ton of views. 13 million is a lot. We'll see how the mid-season finale does. Hopefully it does really well. Next one's from Mr. Xenomorph123, and he says, how do you think Glenn will get into Alexandria? You think he may find the sewer? I doubt it. I don't think so. I mean, I guess it's possible, but there's the girder part in front. It's knocked down though, right? So as long as he can kind of kill walkers from behind and they don't see him in a group. Plus, he's so fast, he'd be able to kind of run back. Granted, he's a little bit tired right now, but I think he would be able to kind of run in, start killing some walkers from behind, maybe try to get around them once they get inside fully and it isn't kind of wedged at the front. Maybe he'll be able to get around in there or the back or something. Enid's a good climber, so she's got some good ways of getting in and out. So maybe she'll show him too. That one I really don't know, but I'm interested to see how Glenn meets up with the rest of the group. Maggie will be up there, so maybe he'll want to go near Maggie, of course, because she's going to be climbing up that ladder. And he'll have Daryl and the rest getting back. I'm interested to see if Daryl and the rest of them are going to get back in time. Maybe use that RPG, which should be fun. And everybody kind of getting in together and helping to start clearing out the walkers. If somebody can get in the gun building and maybe just load up and get up on the rooftop or something and start clearing them out, that could be good too. So we'll see what happens. It should be super exciting. Can't wait. So good questions, Xenomorph. Always have good questions. Youngblood says, hey Trev, what do you think will happen to the Alpha Wolf Morgan has prisoner? Will he die in the mid-season finale, or will he maybe live and be part of a larger story arc dealing with Morgan's hesitation to kill? Love the videos. Keep up your awesome coverage. Yeah, I think he actually is going to survive through the mid-season finale, because he hasn't been a focus at all. And he's a weird one for why they're keeping him around. I have no idea why he's still around. That's really weird. I don't see him as a character that should be integrated into the main group. I don't think it's worth the risk, and I don't think it makes sense that they would do that, considering what he did to the group without a cause, for no reason aside from hunger, I guess. But for what he did with them, I don't see how you can come back from that in terms of the group's perspective. Rick will probably want to kill him right away. So that I don't really. I have no idea what they're doing with him at all. No clue. Next one's from Cookies Bricks, and it's do you think Glenn would have survived if Nicholas didn't knock him off the dumpster? Well, he probably would have survived in the first place if he would have killed Nicholas earlier, probably, because he wouldn't have gotten dead-ended like that by Nicholas being an idiot. But then also, if he didn't knock him off the dumpster, so if he just stayed in the dumpster and started clearing zombie bodies out around him, realistically, no, he wouldn't have. I mean, he's just one character. He's a character that's been around since the beginning, but I feel like there's some plot armor in there, that he was able to make it out of there. It probably, if you're talking more realistic, like, it probably would have been the same fate as Noah had, where he just got ripped to shreds, that type of deal. Because if you get that many zombies coming in, you start killing them around the dumpster, you got high ground, which is good. But as you're killing them and the bodies start packing, they're going to start climbing on top of each other to the point where there's bodies all around. They're coming in. It's just going to be this big, huge mess. Sooner or later, one of them's going to grab you or bite you or something, because they're going to be coming up all around you, at the same time. So I don't think he would have. No, I think he would have been killed off for sure, I guess. It's just kind of almost like plot armor luck, I guess you could say. That's how you look at it. And some people are pissed about that. They think he should have been killed. Well, you can always watch Game of Thrones where, if someone should die, they mostly do for the most part. I mean, granted, not always, but it's interesting like that. So watch Game of Thrones if you like that, you guys who are like that. Next one's from Cigar Nixica 89, and here she says, Trev, why would the Saviors shoot at Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl? Isn't it unsavory for them? I see what you did there. Nice. I thought they take half of the stuff and shoot later. Well, they were trying to find Dwight's group, right? Dwight's little trio. So they probably thought that was Dwight, with the other two. Like they probably thought that was them. So that's probably why they shot at them right away, and they were waiting there. They were waiting there to gank them, so to speak. So they might have been surprised how they actually have killed them and been like, oh, wait, this isn't Dwight. This isn't, the other two. So, yeah, that's probably what happened, I would say. But, the Saviors, they don't usually, they're not very savory. I mean, they don't really save people. I mean, I guess they kill zombies. That's kind of their service that they offer to groups that can't protect themselves, such as... Actually, Alexandria might do okay with the Saviors because they could just give them like half of what they have, which is a good amount of stuff, and then the Saviors could come through and clear out like the No Way Out zombie horde. The Saviors are a group that would come through and would clear them out without too much trouble, probably using hand-to-hand weaponry, except maybe in the TV show version. In the comic series version, it seemed like there was too many. But I don't know, we've never seen the Saviors kind of clear out that many before. I mean, they kind of have, but I don't know. That's a tricky one. So, yeah, the Saviors are an interesting group, but they're not really good guy angel saviors, so to speak. No. It's kind of a false name in that way. Next one's from Michael McMahon. He says, hey, Trev, what do you want to see in the second half of The Walking Dead leading up to Season 7? Just curious what we might see in terms of locations, villains, new characters, etc. As always, keep up the great work you do on the channel. I will save that one for you, Mike. That one I'm going to include in the predictions after we're done watching the mid-season finale when we're talking about the next half. We'll talk about that, and I'll give some predictions on the general half and that kind of thing in that video by itself. So that one I'll save for an individual video. We'll do a couple more. Next one's from Gunslinger Survival, and he says, Trev, best Walking Dead intro, hands down, no Sanctuary, no doubt about it. I watched that and just freaked out. It was awesome. Best one ever. Yeah, that's a good call from him. They've got some awesome intros, but the No Sanctuary just has a really scary feel to it. I love the kind of the gas and just the feel to it, the angles and everything, the sound of the saws in it. It's really scary considering what the hunters do. So you're right, that is an awesome intro too. I'd have to look at some of them to see which ones are the best, but that would have to be up there too. There's so many good ones. And let's see. Next one's from Adrian Wilson. He says, I actually really want the Alpha Wolf to survive so we can see Morgan turn him into a member of the group. Morgan was maybe not as crazy as the Alpha Wolf is, but he was pretty similar. Oh, you mean when he was back in the same level of crazy? What do you think? Yeah, he's actually almost identical to him. I mean, the way the wolves act, I mean, when you look at the weapons they use and everything, Morgan, I'm sure they did this on purpose. His behavior was pretty much exactly the same. I mean, he attacks those two guys, and maybe he's not quite as vicious, but he's basically the same. I mean, he's attacking the cheesemaker too. He tried to kill him too and everything. So he's back then he's basically exactly the same pretty much, or almost before he changed. So that's interesting. Maybe see some of himself in the Alpha Wolf. That's a good point. And that could be interesting. And we'll do like one more. Let's do this one from Johnny M. And he says, Q&A question. Can you explain why Frank Darabont left the series early on? And what are your thoughts if the wolf Morgan locked up had escaped? So, well, he by himself is not that dangerous. Like if he escapes, he might kill one or two people in Alexandria and then try to run out of there, probably, I would think. Because he must know if he sticks around, they're going to capture him. There's so many people, and they're going to kill him because Morgan might not be there to stop him. The others in the group will kill him, as they did his comrades from the wolves. So I would think he'd probably try to get away. But let's see. What are your thoughts? Well, and that's basically all we would see for now. But he may come back later on to get revenge or something for all of his, maybe some of his friends that were killed. But granted, it's their fault anyway. So what are you going to do? And your other part of the question was, can I explain why Frank Darabont left the series? Well, I mean, we've talked about that a number of times. Just search Frank Darabont on the channel. You can see all kinds of videos I've done talking about it. To sum it up briefly, he wanted to do more with the show earlier on, and AMC didn't allow for it in terms of budget and in terms of quality. And he wanted the show to be of a certain. It was quality assurance, basically, was the problem. He wanted it to have a certain level of quality, and he felt like a few of the episodes before at the end of the first half of season 2, a few of the episodes were not good enough for him. He wanted to do some more things, add in some more kind of zombie stuff, and they didn't want to do it. I've heard reports he also clashed with Kirkman. I don't know if that's true. You got to be careful with online, news articles and stuff, but for sure, one thing we do know is that he wanted to do more with the series earlier on than the budget would allow, and he was really pissed at AMC for that. He got into it with them, and they fired him because I guess they felt like, we're in charge, you're not in charge, that kind of deal. But at least they keep his name in the credits, and I believe there's still a lawsuit going on between Darabont and AMC, if I'm not mistaken. I think there is, but I don't know for sure if that's been resolved or not yet, and whether or not he's going to win or he's going to lose, I have no idea. But I liked his series after Mob City. I did reviews for that. If you've never seen Mob City, you can check that out. It's another series from him, and I don't know what he's working on nowadays. Maybe he's all tied up in the legal stuff. I'm not sure. But yeah, go ahead and write your comments below on what you guys think about all these questions. What do you think of the Alpha Wolf? What do you think is going to happen with him? What do you think about Nicholas? All in the end. What do you think about, I guess you can answer the Frank Darabont question if you want. And of course, your thoughts on the ratings dropping this year from last year. Very weird. I just can't quite get my head around that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, you can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you again maybe tomorrow or the next day. Probably the next day, or yeah. Well, I'll try to have something for you guys for tomorrow. Trev, saying peace.